All right, on with the lessons. We're going to learn this stuff. Epistemology, what a heck of a word is that? Epistemology simply means the study of justified belief, all right? So it's not just belief. People can believe lots of things, and they can believe lots of things for lots of interesting reasons. Quickly, remember the book On Being Certain by Robert A. Burton? A super important book, all around super important book on believing things and why people believe them and why people believe things that don't merit belief, but believe them with absolute certainty, including some interesting mental disorders where people believe the most unbelievable things with no evidence whatsoever, but yet they believe them, and they believe them absolutely, as you know, as certain as they know the sun is in the sky or the earth is beneath them. They can believe some strange things. So just believing something is not necessarily a very good criterion for truth. In some cases it is. In some cases it isn't. Here is my quickie chart. All right, the quickie chart is going to describe really two aspects of knowing, or two processes of knowing. One is granularity, which is similar to detail, but it contains more elements than detail. But it's like how finely grained your knowledge is, or how finely grained the data file in your head is. It may be very fine grained and yet have very low truth value, which could be anything from deliberately planted political misinformation on the internet, which quotes a lot of facts and figures which are totally bogus. That happens quite a bit. That's part of the world of political propaganda. Or it could be profound philosophical observations over here that have a great deal of truth value, but not a lot of granularity. A lot of Apple stuff, is extremely reliable. It's very cutting edge. It doesn't have a lot of granularity in its marketing. The marketing is very low granularity, but since they have a very high credibility, it's perceived as having very high truth value. The general path of expertise is this middle place where truth value and granularity are in balance. As someone develops their path of expertise through life up to a very high level of truth value and high level of granularity, this zone up here would be called, the zone of expert knowledge, earned expert knowledge. This zone up here could be anything from the zone of brilliant fiction, like making high definition movies about completely fictional events, and it could be very, very granular in the sense that it's full of memorable detail yet not true, and we encode that differently as something that's very granular but in the realm of complete fantasy. Over here we may have something which has got very low granularity but we experience as profound truth, like when Martin Luther King made his great speech on the Lincoln Memorial. He didn't go into a lot of statistics. King was not there reeling off long, boring lists of statistics. He was talking in terms of the most profound, basic human truths. So we'd say, yes, the man had great credibility in what he was saying, had great truth value, but low granularity. So truth and granularity, or truth value, what is true for you, and granularity are really two different things. So we could say when we're going to go into this exercise and we're going to think about this exercise, we've really got to think in terms of two scales. The scale of what is true, what we encode in our head as true for us on a scale, and a scale of granularity, on the fineness of detail and the fineness of understanding in the mental map or the mental pictures. And this is where a lot of confusions take place, a lot of confusions in thinking that we will try to sort out and straighten out using a very advanced technique, your $2,500 technique that I'm going to be teaching you, is a lot about distinguishing the granularity scale from the truth value scale. So we have something here that may have a high truth value. We say we're going to say that's a truth value of 7, but a fairly low granularity value. So something could have a granularity of 3, but a truth value of 7. So anyway, that is where we're going to go pop into advanced epistemology model and how that works for us. But I'm going to leave that here just so we can keep this as a nice little compact presentation.